right, welcome, Liss N Kristi, Liss N Kristi listeners, to this episode. Today with us, we have somebody who has taken the Insta, TikTok, the ASMR world by storm, and it has been an act of God to get her here with us today. So you better tune in and pay attention because we have lots of fun things to tell you about. But if you're somebody that loves candy or loves something sweet, you should know about the freeze dried world and everything. Like, this has gone viral. And here with us today from Freezy Streets out of Colorado, we have Kailey Hope, who's here to tell us about everything candy and sweets.
Oh
and
my gosh.
ASMR.
Thank you so much for having me here, you guys. You guys are amazing. I do feel like we've taken that world by storm as well. We've been in this business for about 4 years now. We were one of the original companies to start this whole trend. And we are currently the number one freeze-dried candy company. We've been voted multiple times now. It's really, really cool. Excited to keep going and growing and share everything, all the deets, all the sweet treats with you guys today.
Yeah, so take us back because we kind of talked about this briefly, but how in the world were you able to formulate this business idea plan and then have launched it into what has become this crazy
And
phenomenon
keep in
success?
mind, you launched this pre-COVID.
Yeah. So we launched it in the middle of COVID. We were running a home daycare for a long time, me and my husband were. And when COVID hit, it almost cut our numbers in half. I actually watched my brand new mom car get repossessed in front of my house. Horrible. Do not recommend doing that at all. But it it really sparked a fire in me to never want to have to go through that again and never have my family have to go through anything like that again and to change that for a lot of other people. So when that happened, we were obviously in a panic and just trying to figure out something to supplement the income after losing about half of those kids from our government daycare. So we started experimenting with these freeze dryers back here. This is just one of the small home units. Our ones that we have in the commercial kitchen are about 6 times this size. So that's pretty cool. This is just a little tiny one that we
It's
have
very
here.
cool.
Thank you. This is just my home office. We do some experiments here. I love what I do. So even when we're at home, we're always experimenting, finding out new treats to do for everybody.
Okay, so tell us how all this started. You just had a craving one night or we're having a moment. You can be honest with
Yeah.
us. You had too much tequila and you're like, let's put this fruit roll up in
Well,
here and
let's
see
be
what happens.
clear. After we had a bite the other day, Christy was like, "We have an air fryer." I was like, "No, totally different machine. Like, don't go putting candy in the air fryer. You're not gonna get that."
Oh my gosh, I love it. That's funny. There was a trend on TikTok going around for a while that they were saying, make your own freeze dried Skittles at home. And they'd put the bag of Skittles into the freezer and then throw them in the dryer. And then they obviously didn't work, but similar concept.
We're gonna go on. Those are the same people who ate Tide Pods.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh dear, not those days. But this all really started when we had a lot of sad kids. Kids were sad. I was sad. Nobody was happy. I decided to invest all of my savings into one of these crazy machines. I started out, this is just a small one. We bought one of the big ones right off the bat because I thought I was going to be preserving food and all of these crazy things that you're supposed to do with freeze dryers. We did not do that. We ran one batch of food the entire 4 years that we've had these things. The rest is always candy. As soon as we got it, the kids were obsessed with the candy. I was obsessed with the candy. We were sending bags home with the kids to give to their parents. Everybody was smiling. You didn't even know COVID was happening. This was a brand new, crazy treat. You didn't want to think about anything else. All you could think about was this. This is a jolly. They're huge. It's nuts. It's crazy when you get to experience that, just like you guys get to. Now that we sent you some
I
product.
know. Yeah, we have all of our goodie bags here.
So all of our products, they're handmade. So that basically means one of our most popular products is taffies, our taffy crunchies. One of my personal favorites is that buttered popcorn. Yes,
Yeah, it
It
is
is so
so
good.
good.
right there. So we have to hand unwrap all of those candies. And in that process, it takes a long time, very long time. Prepare a load. One of our larger machines has 7 of the trays that are about the size of a cookie sheet. And you unwrap all of those candies one by one and you fill up the whole tray. And then you decide, well, we're going to change our recipe just a tiny bit. And you completely ruin all of that time in taffy that you just spent unwrapping, and it completely explodes, and then the whole machine is puffed up. And
This
you have
recipe is perfect.
Yeah, that
Just saying.
recipe's perfect. So,
Thank you.
yeah, how long did it take you to experiment and get all this stuff right?
So the first year was a lot of experiment and error. We didn't sell online at all our first year. It was all direct to consumer in a in-person setting. So farmers markets, events like that, Christmas shows. And it was really when we decided to stick with our clear packaging was right in the beginning. So we could be right up front with our product. One of our core values is transparency. So that's what we decided to show through in our products. Right from the start, we wanted to be transparent with our customers, and we showed them our development and products from this is our old recipe, and we'd keep a bag to show them the progression of our recipe changing throughout that time of that first year. After that first year, we kind of nailed down our recipes, really figured some stuff out. We're still, of course, growing and developing every single day as a company. And if we find a new process with our recipes that we think is better, then of course we will adapt.
Now, let me. So when I come on, when I run, I'm down to my last four. So when I want to go on and get some more, I obviously come to your website. But can I, let's say, go to a Buc-ee's and find these, or in a retail?
You cannot. You cannot. You can find some of our competitors, but nothing like what you're holding right there. Freezies is something in its own lane, its own category.
I love it.
If you will. Yes, for sure. You can only find this through our affiliates and through our direct website, freezies-treats.com. You won't be able to find this in any department stores. It is a gourmet product that we will not be putting in department stores, and we're proud of that. And to leave that to our affiliates to be able to spread worldwide. We are a worldwide company. We have affiliates in the UK. We have one that just popped up in Rome. We have people all over the world that are making an income right from their phones just by telling people about this crazy product that they know, like, and trust and love.
So how does that work?
Yeah, so we have a weekly training that I hold with my affiliates, and I personally train our team on how to make money from their phones. So this is a mostly social media thing we have going on here. I am good at social media, so that's what I feel comfortable in teaching. I only teach from my past experiences. I don't try and teach anything I don't know, anything I haven't done myself. So we just teach from past experiences, and I teach them what I've done and how I've grown my company myself, and they can take that into their own world and really build their own brand.
I love that.
And you have, like, I'm just blown away, but you have how many affiliates?
We have just over 9,000 affiliates.
So,
today.
I mean, that blows my mind. You have a social media following of already what, over
Our
a
social
million?
media following, yeah, it's over 1 million all put together throughout we have 4 major platforms. It's gonna be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and did I say YouTube? And YouTube.
And from the moment, I want to know how much time passed from the moment that car was repoed until you realized,
Right.
we're going to be okay. Like, we're going to be really okay.
Oh geez. It was a rough couple of months in investing everything I had left, which wasn't much at all, trying to sell things I had acquired with our farm. It was just a crazy time. There was probably a good 6 months before I was like, okay, we've got this. It's gonna be fine.
But the thing about it is, like, I've watched you for days now since, we, realized you were going to be on the show, and you are hustling. So if anybody thinks this comes easier, now she's got these 9,000 affiliates, you're on. I see you in the morning.
You're
I
working harder
see you
than
at
ever.
night. You're in that store. You're busting your hump. You're engaging with people, which is what this is all about. And you're giving people that joyful experience that everybody associates to candy. It's like happiness is being a little kid and having that first sweet bite.
Oh, 100%. I think more than 90% of our entire brand is the experience itself. We don't sell candy, we sell experiences, is what I tell our affiliates. We're not here just to sell candy, we're selling the experience, and we really put an emphasis on bringing smiles to people's face. That's our whole mission. However we need to do that, we're going to do it, and we take that into the core of our company as far as our customer service. If somebody's not happy, we're going to do whatever we need to do to make them smile at the end of the day. And sometimes the people that leave our worst reviews, we make them so happy. We flip that frown right upside down, the biggest you can. And they're some of the best customers I've ever had, spending thousands of dollars a month with us just on candy. Lovely.
And so you just opened your bricks and mortar store.
We did. We just opened a store here in Grand Junction, Colorado, right on North Avenue. It is a beautiful location now. We just finished a complete remodel on the entire building. It was a little scary when we moved in, but just like anything, it takes a little bit of time and love to turn into something beautiful. And here it is. We've been open for just under 3 weeks now. Tomorrow will be 3 weeks open, and things are amazing, crazy. We had a long line for our grand opening, people waiting in anticipation to come in through the doors. And the feedback that we've gotten on that in-person store has really made us even consider a franchise line that we are going to think about maybe down the line and see what we can do there.
Now, what about branching out and doing things for pets or dogs or?
Yeah, we've been asked that a lot for sure. There may be maybe another company down the line in the works that could be a partner, a co-company. I'm not really sure how that works, but we'll figure it out together. One step at a time. But that's definitely something that has crossed our mind. This started out, you wouldn't even believe it if I showed you our first logo ever. It was a Great Dane with a piece of candy in its mouth. Was our first ever Freezies logo, and we went with the name. Our original name was Gentle Giants Farms, because I thought it was a grand idea to sell our candy underneath our farm brand. And then I learned about branding, and Freezies developed.
Now, do you do pop-up shops anywhere, or is that part of your affiliate program that they can? I'm just thinking.
I know. I'm
all
thinking
these
of like
different
A&M
ways.
and
Ron Top.
yeah. Well, like where Sinclair's going to be at school. Like
Yeah.
all those kids need candy. Like
Yeah.
there's the possibilities are endless.
Endless.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. The possibilities definitely are endless. And I learned so much from my affiliates, just getting ideas just like that from them and from other people just like you guys. It's really cool, the expansion that can happen with just such a simple item. Like there's been candy for decades. And to see it develop over time is really crazy. And now that we have access to social media and being able to grow this to over the 9,000 affiliates, the reach is just incredible. The pop-up shops that you're mentioning, they kind of phased out a little bit when we blew up online. There just wasn't the time for it. But now I really am searching for that connection with my customers, that one-on-one. I really just want to get to know them. I want to know why they want to buy from us. Just get to know them on a more personal level. And that really seemed like an in-person store, pop-up event kind of thing. So we are just now starting to train our affiliates and getting them the materials needed to do these pop-up shops, which is really cool. We as the founders have done some pop-up shops. We're doing some of the bigger events that I'm really excited about here locally that we have coming up, just like this. Being in Colorado in the Grand Junction area,
Right.
peaches are huge. So we have the Peach Festival coming up that we're going to have a massive booth at that we're really excited for, and some exclusive products that you'll find there.
And don't forget, you got the Food and Wine Fest in Aspen this summer.
Yes, Food and Wine Fest. We actually just got our application approved, so we'll see.
Fantastic.
She is on the like she's on the pulse.
But I mean, to have that many affiliates in really less than 3 years.
Yeah, no, I mean, like my mind is blown. And here's the thing: tell us, for those who are listening, if we have audiences that aren't aware, tell us about the whole ASMR phenomenon, what it is, what it means, how it drives traffic, because it is this whole thing that I will truly admit that in my research, I'm one of those people who has the thing, I can't listen to people eat, but then I'm on the ASMR video and then,
but we just
3 hours have
discovered
gone
ASMR.
by. Well, yeah, but still, I got hooked.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. So
I don't get it. So how did it come about?
I mean, I don't know a lot of the history, so I won't pretend to know. I'm not the original ASMR at all. And I actually we do some of the ASMR in our factory. The sounds of just making the candy is incredible. When they come out of these machines, they're like popping and sound like pop rocks almost. You can hear the air. It's insane. It's insane what it sounds like. So we do some of our own content, but a lot of our affiliates are the ASMR artists, and they have channels dedicated to this stuff.
Yeah, I would start to say this has to be, I don't know about, I would think you had no competition, but yours is like the Neiman Marcus of candies. I mean, it's the way it's packaged and it's heavy and the gauge of the bag. It's not flimsy at all. I mean, it feels like, you're going into a fine a candy store and getting something the same packaging as, let's say, can we say other competitors, Dylan's candy bar or something like that. And I'm so impressed, but I would think your candies would be the perfect texture to make those kind of
Yes.
ASMR, AMSR.
A-
What is it called?
AMSR.
Whatever. That thing with your mouth. Because they're so light and crunchy and they have
Right, but for people who don't know what that means that in the world of social media influencing, there are people who have entire channels dedicated to the sound and the crunch and the texture
Okay.
of the bite.
Can I tell you, these people need to either up their meds or get a job. I mean,
But they have.
I don't get it.
But some of them have multi-million channels, like followers out the yin yang, and truly, people are going to that channel to spend hours of their life watching other people have that bite experience. Oh, they want. Oh, you want an example? Let's give the people. Let's give the
Is that that
listeners
sour
an
one?
example. Yeah.
I don't know what that's called.
Okay, I'm gonna do. You don't want a sour Skittle?
No.
Okay, so tell them about the sours that you make in house. If you are a sour fan, this is gonna get your sour freak on.
Yes, it is. It's gonna make a tongue pucker, baby.
This is what I love. This is the fruit roll up.
You get in the microphone. Get up
Zero.
close.
Wait, how do I do it? What's that?
That's it. Hours of those kinds of sounds. Hold on, here
I
comes.
feel I'm overqualified.
You might be. Here's the sour Skittle. Oh God, I knew it was coming. I can't. I don't know. Hold.
I'm puckering watching.
Oh.
That's the one. That's the one. That's the key.
Okay, what is it? Oh, you host a sour challenge?
Yes,
What-
we have a sour challenge.
What does that
Absolutely.
entail exactly? And how much money can I win if I don't make that face?
If you can get the most sour Skittles eaten without making your face pucker, is the winning challenge point. If you can eat them without making your face pucker, you're a champion.
And what does a champion win?
Nobody's really won yet, so it's still an ongoing challenge.
Oh, I love that even more. An unwon challenge?
An unwon challenge.
Oh,
We're trying to work with some of those spicy challenge people right now to see if they.
I'm not like anti-sour at all. Like I like it. I have never tasted anything that's even half as sour as what these candies are. Try another one,
100%.
Chrissy. Just give me one more.
You know what? I'll die on that hill, and I believe you.
Okay, give me I want a butter toffee. Okay, so I have to tell you, you also sent us a bag of cotton candy taffy.
They're gone.
Somebody, you ate them? I thought somebody walked out of here with them. Yeah, they're gone.
Secret
Sorry.
pouch. So sorry.
I want to know some of the disaster recipes. What have been some of the
The
things?
Pinterest fails.
Yeah.
My goodness. Well, so getting our peach ring recipe absolutely perfect was a hell show. And one of our best performing videos on social media was that fail video that I contemplated posting for multiple days because I was unsure. Do I show the people the truth behind the scenes? Do I show them that we do mess up candy still? Because we were pretty far into our business, 3 years in, and we had this ruined one of our $6,500 machines, ruined the pump that's $3,000 that went with it. It was a horrendous experience. Awful. Do not recommend. But
what happened? What happened?
Yeah, so we were training some new employees and a machine got forgotten. It got forgotten, so things got a little toasty in there. Some settings did not get, the recipe was not followed, is what we will say. The recipe was not followed. And then said employee tried to hide the mistake instead of just letting us know, like, hey, we kind of messed up a little here. And they just proceeded to continue the process. They clicked that start button and it royally exploded everywhere. The entire clear door was no longer clear. It looked like a lasagna was on the door. awful. That video is upwards of 5.6 million views now.
We have to go see that.
Yeah, this is your disclaimer though. Don't try this at home, folks. Like if you think freeze drying is for sissies or, it's easy, forget about
So
it.
was candy your first choice?
So candy was definitely why I bought the machine. I wanted
Okay.
to start experimenting with this stuff. I had some ideas in my mind. I had saw one video. I was like, if they can do that with bananas, I got this. I've always liked candy. Our reward system as a child growing up, my grandmother would give us this candy drawer in my grandfather's ancient, very special, expensive dresser, right? So I felt like I was fancy. This is my fancy special drawer. And she'd have it stocked with all of these crazy candies that she'd bring back from these adventures that she'd go on as this traveling businesswoman. So it was like this really cool experience for me as a child. Candy was just made to be this amazing thing, right? It was just made out in my mind to be incredible.
Absolutely.
So to make a business out of this was just incredible, but it's always been there. It's always been something that I have
The
thought
Willy
about.
Wonka of Mesa County.
I just need people to understand how truly addictive that buttered popcorn.
Oh,
It is like
it's so good.
It's so much better than movie theater popcorn or like the popcorn jelly belt. Like forget about
Yeah.
it. Like it melts. If you like that flavor at all, it literally melts in your mouth. So we're gonna be affiliates soon. I just
Yeah.
want everybody to know. Keep an eye out on the channel because I could do this. I could eat this candy all day long.
Sounds like you need an ASMR channel.
I know. Talk to me about this Tang-a-lang frost mallow.
Yes, tingling is one of our original recipes, one of our in-house recipes that nobody else has. Some have attempted, but not come close. That is an orange dream flavor, is what we like to call them. The base is a freeze-dried marshmallow, and then they are coated. And then they're coated in the in-house recipe, which is that one is the orange cream.
That's a
I
little
can't
sour
tell you
on
about
that.
They do have some tang. They definitely have some tang, hence the name Tang-a-lang, baby.
But that's like a creamsicle, like the best kind of creamsicle with a little bit of just my mouth just came watering.
A little bit of we have those in 6 different options now, and we're about to release a brand new flavor that is a lavender lemonade.
Ooh.
So how often do you do release new products?
Yeah, we release a new product every single Friday, depending on, we're starting to rotate products now between a candy one Friday and then a fruit the next Friday. We just released a new brand called Fruitlies in honor of my dear mentor, my past mentor, Jessie Lee Ward. She passed away of stage 4 colon cancer last September, and it was absolutely just devastating. So in her honor, in her memory, we had talked about this while she was still with us, but I decided to carry it on and make it happen without her here. And now we have a whole brand of Fruitlies that is 100% fruit, no sugars added, no dyes added, 100% fruit, that we're really excited about to be able to grow that and scale out even bigger. And actually 5% of every single bag of Fruitlies sold goes to the Kid Cancer Foundation, which is a foundation dedicated to helping kids thrive through childhood cancer.
You're my hero.
Yeah.
You're just doing amazing things. Like your kids have to. I don't know how many children do you have?
We have 2 kids now.
Can you? How old are they, if you mind ask?
Yeah, we have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Okay, so can you imagine being 6 years old, and my mom is the next Mrs. Fields or whatever, and she makes candy? I'm gonna tell you, I grew up on a shipyard, so we look at shrimp boats all day long. And I used to dream, why couldn't my parents be in the candy or the toy business? I'm so tired of looking at shrimp. But I mean, to be 6 years old and say, what's my mom working on today? She's changing the world with candy.
Yeah.
How fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible to be able to be that kind of a role model for my kids right now when they're so young and so impressionable.
And wait, and you have a 3-year-old? So while you're doing all this, you have a child in the middle of all this.
This is a fun story, actually. He's 3 years old, obviously, and our business is now 4 years old. So I was growing the business right when I got pregnant with him. I was literally pregnant with him, he was growing inside me when this idea was growing inside me, the exact same timeline. And that right around that year mark when I was, people say 9 months pregnant. You guys know as women, you're pregnant for 10 months. So right around that 10-month mark was when Freezy's was really becoming its own brand. We were moving away from our original logo. I was learning a lot of things, becoming a real business is what I like to call it. The real birth of it was happening. We were exploding. That's when we had released online and our sales were going insane. We were right at the beginning of the craze. Orders were going in. I can't even explain to you how insane this time was, but that's also the time I was going to be delivering my son. So I decided that I was going to have my son at home. I was going to have a home birth with my son because I did not have the time to take away to go be in the hospital. And it was also COVID times. So once you're in the hospital, they're keeping you there for a couple of days and you're not leaving because of all their stipulations, right? So I decided, no, we're not leaving the house. I'm having him at home. And our commercial kitchen was on the same property as my home. So I didn't have to go anywhere to work, or when I felt the baby was coming, we just went right inside. We had the baby, and 4 hours later, I was back working the business, shipping out orders right after delivering my son. So it was a good time.
You would have survived in those prairie days for sure.
Absolutely. Give the girl a wagon rut. She's good to go.
I'm so impressed. Were you born to a family of entrepreneurs like that? Like, has it been instilled in you from birth?
I mean, no, somewhat. My father had dabbled in some entrepreneur stuff. He had sold speakers around Europe. He was a salesman. He was an excellent salesman. So I definitely got a lot of my sales techniques from my father and a lot of that tenacity to just do the damn thing.
Just get after
Have
it.
you thought about like going on Shark Tank, or people ask you, what's the next big move?
Yeah, we've definitely thought about going on Shark Tank and we've ventured down that road. We don't want to get rid of any of the company. We want to keep the company in-house. We want to keep things the way it is. We currently have no debt in the company, so we don't want to ruin that. And we don't want to bring on too many partners and have things get icky, if that makes sense. So we're really trying to get our systems and processes nailed out and get everything, the foundation built, so we can focus on the scaling.
Well, I am just absolutely blown away.
I'm like, take note. If you need a successful business model, I mean, who can even say that? The business has no debt and we're killing it. We have 9,000 affiliates. You're already doing charity work to give back. I want to know a couple more, like, what are some more of your top sellers?
Oh, I mean, rainbow crunchies are huge, and we actually ship free samples of them around the globe, and all people have to pay for is the shipping. If they come into our store, they clearly do not have to pay shipping, and we'll give out free samples all day. But we do have that option online because we do have such a large global company, and people love that. They absolutely adore that because shipping is fairly inexpensive. It's like $3 to $4, and they can get a whole free sample sent to them. It's like a bag like this big. It's a decent little bag.
Yeah. If you want to try these before you make the
like
plunge, which just get out, just buy the stuff. I mean, those are freaking delicious. Give it. These are the fruit roll-ups, right?
Yes, fruity crunchy rolls.
Fruity crunchy rolls. I'm telling you what. There's strawberry. There's mixed fruit. They're here.
I already had.
I'm gonna give everybody another listen. But like Reagan said, what'd you say?
Reagan, the super producer.
She's like, but think about it. You're packing your kids' lunch and you can just throw that in there and they're not going to get sticky hands. And I was like, you are going to be a really cool mom.
Mm-hmm. Road trips. It doesn't melt in the sun. It's incredible.
And it just tastes better.
It
It's
does.
like-
It does.
Now the calories change. Does the...
Please.
Well, I don't know.
I wish it did. Once I figure that out, I'll be a worldwide billionaire helping everybody do everything. Right now, so they don't change in calorie. What the freeze drying process does is it removes any liquid. And at the same time, it goes under extreme heat, extreme freezing, and extreme vacuum all at the same time. In that process, it removes all of the moisture. And when you add sugar to that process, the sugar tends to expand, which is where our candy comes in and the recipes come in, depending on how deep of a vacuum, how hot, how cold. There's a lot of different variable points in this thing, but it definitely intensifies the flavor through this process by removing all of the liquid, all of the filler, the lessening, right? The things that make it less.
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of if you've ever had gelato and you're like, wow, this is just like way better than ice cream. It's just more flavor packed.
Right.
It's kind of like the gelato of candy. Like you're gonna get more of
It's intensified.
the flavor profile of the whole candy experience. Now, what are some of the things that you can't freeze dry?
Yeah, things that are really high in fat. So things like
I'm going to be safe. Nobody's going to freeze dry me.
so things really high in the fat content, like chocolate, is really one of the main things that you can't freeze dry. Butter, you're not going to freeze dry butter very well. Honey tends to be a large issue for a lot of people just because it is so high of a sugar content and it's pure texture. But we do have, oh, I'm not supposed to say that. We have
We won't tell anybody.
We'll tell everybody in just a couple of days.
It's just our friends here. We do have a honey product that is coming out that we have been working on for the last 3 years. And it has been the hardest thing for us to figure out. But we are just about there. We're in the end phases of testing.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
There's all these like favorite candies, like Albanese gummy bears are by and far and large my favorite gummy bears. Have you tried those?
Oh, for sure. We actually have a pick and mix option on our website as well that isn't just freeze dry. It's also a bunch of imported gummies from Spain, Sweden, all over the world that people can do a mixed jar of these crazy gummies, just like the Albanese gummy bears. Because some of the products they just don't like to freeze dry. They're not cooperable. And Albanese gummy bears are one of those products that they just don't work properly. I'm trying a couple of things because I think I have an idea in mind that might change that for us.
Have you ever done Mentos?
Yes, Mentos are a funny one. Very, very
Really?
funny.
Do they?
They kind of turn into a tube almost. Like a
Ooh.
tube. And they're very delicate, believe it or not. But it may be, we release a new product every single Friday. So we have things that come and things that go and rotate through. So it's one of those that you've got to be on the lookout for.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Kind of one of those things like Sinclair's traveling right now in Europe. Like if she found an assortment of unique candies and brought them back and we just shipped them up to you and said, okay, give these a whirl, would you test them out?
Yeah, 100%. We do these experiment videos on our social media that we love. We absolutely love it when our followers send us candies. We have our address actually posted on our social media for this reason, because people love to ship us treats, candies, cookies, these pastries that were made in a London bakery we got sent to us the other day that I'm waiting. The film is coming. So we freeze dry all these crazy things and we just see what happens. We film the entire process.
So you film the whole experience. And is it like crumble that you drop whenever you announce that you're doing every Friday? Is it Thursday night at midnight? You have a video that comes out. I mean, how does everybody know the new flavor?
Yeah, so we don't release any hints, any forthcomings until it is on the website at 12 noon Mountain Standard Time on Fridays. You don't know what's coming. It's a complete surprise, and you just have to be ready to go to see what it's going to be.
Today's Friday. We've got a couple hours.
Today's Friday. Couple
So,
hours.
how many total products do you have in the line?
Yeah,
I know
we've
that's
done-
changing all the time, but 50,
It's
100.
changing every single day. We have right now currently on the website, we have about 80 products available. And that's typically about the range. We have 80 to 100 products at any given time on the website. And then in our total product lineup, we have almost over 200 items that have gone, have come, will come back eventually as old time favorites.
Now, I don't know if you're allowed to talk about any revenues, like what y'all are making and what kind of sales that y'all are doing. I mean, being a young company.
Yeah, for sure. We did just over $1.6 million in sales last year. And we are on projection to do just over 5 million in sales this year. So that's
Holy shit,
nine-
Kailey.
So we are just over here doing the mostest and trying to grow and keep growing.
I'm so proud of you.
She's dropping those babies and heading back to work. Was it Rosie the Riveter would be in therapy if she knew you.
But you, I mean, like, how many employees do you have now? Like, what kind of a work effort goes into keeping those 80 products stocked on your shelf? Like, it has to be almost
Yeah.
like to the point where you guys are 24/7, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't not work, but I love what I do, so it's okay.
It's not
Find
work,
something
right?
don't give up is where we're at right now. And I also have an understanding that life comes in seasons. So that's really therapeutic for me to just know that this isn't temporary. This isn't permanent. This is all very temporary. And the time we have here needs to be used very strategically. Losing my dearest mentor, she was like a mother to me in September, really put a whole new perspective on all of it. We do not have as much time as we think we do. And we need to do
This is not a
exactly-
dress rehearsal. This is the only time we have.
This is it. So if we're going to do something, we're going to do it here. We're going to do it now. We're going to tell everybody about it and help as many people as we can along the way.
I love this.
You know, I have all kinds of ideas in the back of my
do.
head. Yeah, but we'll save that for later. We need to send you an email on some
Yeah.
other ideas. But you are just, you're kind of my hero. And I'm just so proud of you and excited that
Kailey, you are good for the soul. You may be bad for my teeth, but my blood sugar, but you are great for the soul.
I can just see us out now, like shopping for all this like different random candy to send.
Right.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times are you familiar with Jungle Gyms?
Yes. Yes.
So this market in Ohio, and it has it's probably the size of what, 5 Costco's?
Uh-huh.
And in each bay, it's like a different country. So you walk in and they'll have all the candy from different countries. And I'm just thinking, there's a plethora of things that you can the possibilities are endless for you.
I love that so much. I'm so excited to see where everything goes and just to keep living, keep experiencing, and one day at a time.
Well, we are so proud of you. You have we are the president pro tem of the Kailey Hope for Queen of the World of Entrepreneur Society, based here in Texas.
I know. I keep thinking about what Mark Cuban would say when she tells him her numbers. It would be like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, exactly.
They would laugh you off the
you know
stage.
how-
You don't need us.
Oh, you're so sweet. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much for having me today. I really enjoyed talking with you guys.
So
Well-
your last send off, what is one piece of advice you'd give to anybody that you've learned, that you've internalized, that you would say, you know what, just learn this sooner?
Just start. You can't have
Right.
you can't have day one without having day one. You have
Right.
to just start. I can't tell you how many times I have sat there and questioned myself. Do you do it? Do I not do it? Do I take the leap? My husband had to leave his comfortable job. We haven't had health insurance in 3 years. And I'm 100% okay with that. I love this life that we are living. We had to leave safe zone to get out of the safe zone, to get to the dream, right? You have to do
Right.
things every single day that other people are not willing to do to get to a life that other people never will. So just start would be my one takeaway. If you take one thing away, just start whatever the dream is that you have in the back of your head that everybody else tells you is absolutely insane.
You are my new favorite guest.
And tell everybody where they can find you before we let you go.
Yes, everybody can find me at Kailey Hope on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the things, and Freezies_treats on everything as well.
And when you're in Grand Junction, Colorado, go see Kailey and tell her we sent you.
Yes, come see us in Grand Junction, Colorado. We'd love to see everybody.
Thank you, Angel, for bringing a smile to our face.
Yep.
Thank you so much, you guys. I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Say goodnight, Lucy.
Good night, Lucy.